Good morning once again. Going to do something a little bit different today. I thought I would make it a little bit lighter. In some ways, it's seen as lighter than what I've been putting out, even though I haven't really gotten into anything crazy. But today, it's kind of a last minute thing. I was going to do something about the Chicago World's Fair, but many people do videos about that. So this is a more personal one, but which also deals with topics that people are interested in these days. And like I always preface these things with, or I always say it at some point, I'm not saying any of this is true. I'm just showing different points of view and things that make sense to me. So I'm not telling you you have to believe me, but why do people so easily feel threatened when they're confronted with something that challenges their beliefs? And it could be anything. It could be religion. It could be politics. It could be sports. You know, you like this team better than that team, and blah, blah. But we are conditioned to just argue. We are also, we are also conditioned to believe ridiculous things while saying that something obvious is ridiculous because we live in a backward society and it's been set up that way and it's getting more obviously that way every freaking day. The answers are in front of you, but because you've been taught something else, you call people like me crazy. All right. This one deals with the Earth not being a ball spinning on its axis at a certain speed while floating through the sky, while going through the sky, right? Some people call it flat Earth. Is it flat? It's probably flat, but I mean, it's not just flat. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people think flat is a shape. And flat is not a shape. So it could be circular and flat. Do you dig? Am I not making sense? Anyway, I'll link some good videos below that explain it better than I do. But of course, I mean, up until maybe even a week ago, I was like, flat Earth, what are you, freaking crazy? Because we're taught that people that feel this way are crazy. And, you know, excuse the noise, the cats are playing, but at least they're not jumping in my face here. I don't know, they're batting something around there. Okay, so anyhow, the Earth. Is it flat? Is it round? Is it triangle? Is it a hexagon? Who the hell gives a crap, right? It doesn't matter. But if it's not what we've been told forever, there's got to be a reason for it. So why don't we even look at the options, right? Why do we have to resort to attacking people, right? Why are you telling me that what is new belief right now, and it could change. I mean, that's called evolving. We evolve. But I'm seeing things that don't make sense. I always have. And when something don't make sense, it don't make sense to me, okay? So yeah, I might be crazy, but like I always say, it's a badge of honor if you believe some of the nonsense that you believe, right? So anyhow, let's get to it because it's a little lighter. It starts fine. You know, it starts pretty cool. There we go. Let me see. This is, I used to spend a lot of time on Reddit and usually in the psychedelic groups, but I find that the same way what's happening in this group, which this one was about UFOs, it's a UFO Reddit sub. And what happens is the same thing that happens in the psychedelic forums, okay? You go, you say something, and it's a different view than people have. So instead of talking amicably amongst each other, you call each other's crazy. You call each other's ideas crazy. You say you're full of shit. You say you're a liar. You say this, you say that. Why not go, that's interesting, but I believe this. It never happens. Never happens. So anyhow, I was getting tired of that happening. So I'm on Reddit and I'm on this UFO forum, right? Because I'm interested. I've been interested my whole life. Now, the topic of this is the interdimensional hypothesis is better than the extraterrestrial, which is kind of like something that I've been saying. I've been saying for a long time that, and I'm more convinced lately, that quote unquote aliens are more interdimensional than interplanetary. What I say is they're not going to come here and show themselves driving a car or flying a spaceship, okay? But that's the topic of this. We can talk about it. No, does anyone know anything for sure? No. None of us know anything. We can believe whatever we've been conditioned to believe or whatever we've researched, whatever, but none of us know anything, okay? So anyhow, we are over here on the interdimensional hypothesis is better than the extraterrestrials, right? Somebody before me, before I commented, said, based on the sheer number of planets alone, the universe should be teeming with life. To which I say, we don't know planets exist. We believe. Well, you might, but there's a difference. Look, somebody downvoted me for that. Then Mr. Scrutton, not Scrotus, says, are you being sarcastic? Are you stoned? We found lots of planets outside our solar system, almost 5,000 confirmed. Here's a list. So he gives me a list of all the planets and all their names and all of this and all of that. It's a list, right? Written by someone. So I go, so you really believe everything that you see and read? Is it because it's written by an expert? Okay, I believe that can be proven, so I don't believe much. That being the case, no, I believe what can be proven, so I don't believe much. That being the case, I always look for what makes sense. That's right. If you can't prove it, I don't believe it. If I can't prove it right here in front of me right now, I don't believe it. Okay. And where were we? And by the way, yes, I am currently feeling quite good, thanks to a wonderful natural plant. Oh, since you believed what you read, you could probably find more proof that Santa is real somewhere online as well. That doesn't mean he is. And look, they were nice enough to downvote me 4 times. What are you afraid of? Then the Birthed by the Big Bang says, you're comparing the belief in Santa Claus to the established methods of determining the existence of exoplanets. You have no reasonable argument. It's not a belief. It's a scientific conclusion that best fits the data, which has a confirmation of predictions made by previously established science. Science is established, so we must believe it. So I go, scientific conclusions are drawn by scientists who have an agenda. Why won't they show us an unedited picture of the Earth taken from anywhere in space? Now I've been downvoted 5 times. Same guy who was birthed by the Big Bang, responds. Now, if he's birthed by the Big Bang, that tells you everything you need to know. So he says, okay, just based on this tiny amount of prose, you sound like you might be a scientifically illiterate conspiracy monger, so perhaps it's fruitless to attempt a rational dialogue with you. And then he proceeds to be irrational with me for a little while longer. Are you aware of how we have determined that stars have planets and how we discovered thousands of them? Yes, I believe people said that. I truly believe people said they discovered thousands of planets. Yes, I believe it. For what it's worth, the Earth is a spheroid. Okay, the moon is not hollow. Never said it was. NASA and tens of thousands of unaffiliated scientists from across the planet over many decades are not conspiring to hide some radical truth about Earth, the solar system, or the universe that runs shockingly contrary to conventional scientific narratives. Okay, then why do they edit every freaking picture they send us? Why? Okay, let's continue. If you believe otherwise, you're wrong, and your beliefs are premised on stupid ideas that aren't even worth debating. But then he proceeds to debate me with bullshit. If you believe anything even remotely similar to what I've just written, you're either a religious nut, an understandably ignorant teen or 20-something failed by your nation's educational system, a fully fledged adult afflicted with sad ignorance, or a willing lack of intellectual integrity, a troll, totally delusional, or extremely credulous. Boy, he uses a lot of big words to say nothing. Hey, he got 4 upvotes, so it tells you the thinking of the people in this group, right? But they believe in little green men. So here we go. Thank you. Being that science and religion are 2 biggest conspiracies going, that's a compliment. Since you seem to like numbered lists, why do we call it the horizon? Because it's horizontal. If it were curved, we would call it looking at the curvature, not at the horizon. Why does NASA have to Photoshop every single image we get from them? They've even admitted it many times, saying that they have to. Yes, they have. Let's have an astronaut just snap a picture of Earth from the window of the space station or any spacecraft and then share it unedited. Why don't they do that? Astronauts don't have phones? Okay, is it illegal to do that? I don't know. Okay, let's continue. Why does NASA have to add a fisheye filter to every picture they take where they have Earth in the background? Yes, they do that. Yes, they do that. Why haven't we been back to the moon in 50 years after such a race to space? Excuse the stumbling over my words. I haven't had my coffee yet this morning. Why has no other country? The NASA story is that we destroyed the technology and we haven't perfected it again yet. Okay, isn't that ridiculous? Why haven't we been back to the moon? Now they're planning another trip. We know why we haven't been back. That's enough. Then I tell them, just fulfill one of those, please. Or next time you're up in an airplane at cruising level, look out your window towards the horizon. You won't see a curve no matter how far you look. That wouldn't happen on a globe. Yeah, I said horizontal. Oh, wait, I have another. Try to have conversations which you deem intelligent with less condescending tones and insults. Otherwise, you just sound childish. Because, they resort to insults here. And this other genius goes, bro, science is the reason you have a computer in front of you right now. Trust me, it's not bullshit. To which I go, I don't recall saying there was anything wrong with everything. I talked about the moon and UFOs. I'm holding this phone in my hand so I can see the lies in front of me in person. I don't say I didn't believe in phones nor computers. I just believe that much of what we are told are lies, most of it. Downvoted again. Hey, we're back to birth by the Big Bang. I won't bother responding to your unhinged crack pottery, yet he keeps responding, as it doesn't merit a reasoned response. I haven't gotten a reasoned response. However, I will say this. I am a middle-aged man, and I happen to be old and fortunate enough to have had parents who could splurge on occasional luxuries, and wouldn't you know it, my family took a 1980s trip to London on the Concorde, which was thrilling. The cruising altitude of the Concorde is 60,000 feet, and I did indeed see the obvious curvature of the Earth, even at that relatively low altitude, low compared to space. Okay, that's nice. Hey, if he's there, I'm also a middle-aged person, okay? Now, you won't bother to respond because you can't. None of you science Nazis can. But when you can, get back to me. Thanks. And if you say you saw curvature, you're a liar as well. You may have seen until the end of your range of beyond your range of vision, but that's okay. Even NASA can't answer that one. Let's continue the thread, shall we? Where do we go? Here we go. Oh, I got 0. Hey, I really got downvoted there. Can I give myself an upvote? There we go. Oh, I minus myself 1. Ain't that funny? Okay. All right. Where's birth by the Big Bang? You are totally delusional, he says. You literally have to deny plain, ordinary reality to shoehorn the world into your anti-rational, post-objective lunacy. Wow, this guy uses some good words. The reason I'm condescending with you is because your mind-bendingly loony ideas aren't worth respectful considering. Okay. They don't even rise to the level of fallacious. Wow, he does use big words, but then he's stuck on what science has told him. He's probably gotten vaccinated and boosted all the way too. I have in fact seen the curvature of the Earth. It's because the planet is a spheroid. My God, all you need to do is think rationally for 5 minutes and consider the dozens of phenomena we would need to see if we lived on a flat plane. Phenomena which we never see because the world is not flat. The very fact that there are unhinged lunatics that still believe the planet is flat and that there are more believers than there used to be is just evidence that there are more and more extremely gullible people out there. You are a gullible loon. No, sir, you are a gullible loon. So I respond, it's so obvious. Why don't you have an answer? Not because you don't want to waste your time on a nut like me, but because there is no rational answer. Yet you and others persist in believing in unicorns. I understand why, because you've been conditioned to your whole life. So have I. It's built into the system we live in. But do you see the irony of you telling me I'm crazy? On a UFO group, many out there would say that you are the crazy one for believing in little green men and their spaceships. The saddest part is, we actually agree, though we use different words. Yes, there are aliens, but they're interdimensional. They don't drive or fly. That's my assessment. Am I being mean to this guy? Am I being condescending? No, but he constantly just responds with bullshit and insults. Since you're so sure of yourself, just do what I asked. It should be simple. Show me proof of what you're saying. And I don't mean studies, reports, blah, blah, blah. I mean proof we can all see right now. You can't, I can. You can as well. Just go up to any pilot and ask him about the horizon line. It's always a straight line. Always. Impossible on a ball Earth. Why does Google Earth and all other mapping services not allow us to see Antarctica? Try it. If all there is at that place is ice, why can't we see it on maps properly? And why can't we fly over it? More importantly, why is the military protecting it? Isn't the natural physics of water to remain level and flat? And isn't over 70% of Earth made up of water? If 70% of Earth is composed of water and the natural physics of water is to remain level and flat, how can the Earth be anything but a level, flat plane? I'll wait. So you know what happens? I forgot what he answered, but he deleted his comment. Ha! Comment deleted by user. So I go, and again, you resort to insults. So it must have been a good one. He's trying to cover himself up. The tool of someone who has no answers. It's sad that you're so programmed. Maybe one day you'll break free from those shackles that have been placed on all of us since birth. And he goes, why do you not fall off the Earth when you jump out of bed in the morning? Well, that's a really simple answer. Because I'm not made of helium. Same reason I don't float away. Objects fall and rise based on the relative density to the mediums surrounding them. Apples and humans fall because they are denser than the air surrounding them. An easy experiment for you. Fill a balloon half with air and half helium. It'll float in space. It won't rise. It won't fall. It'll just hang there. It's actually a pretty cool experiment. Next question, please. And do provide even just one answer to the many questions I've asked you. I have another easy experiment for you. Get a very large helium balloon or two and attach a cheap GoPro type video cam to it and let it rise. Be sure to stream the video or some other way of viewing the real time. Watch it go up and watch the horizontal line. It'll never curve, the horizontal line. That's right, the horizon, horizontal. And he goes, wrong. You don't fly away for the same reason water hugs the surface of the planet, because of Earth's gravitational field. By your logic, an apple in a comparably sized sphere of titanium would free fall at different rates, but they do not, because gravity doesn't care how dense an object is. Oh boy. Oh, sorry. And that's not my craziness talking, it's physics. Gravity, eh? Okay, do helium balloons defy gravity? If helium is all we need to rise up, why not fill rockets with helium instead of fuel? So if gravity doesn't care how dense an object is, why do helium balloons float up? Good question. As far as your question goes, if the apple and the same size sphere of titanium are of the same weight, they would fall at the same rate. Size isn't the determining factor. I'll wait again for you to spew another fact that makes no sense. Okay? So, boom, guess what? He hasn't answered yet. They never give an answer. They don't. All they do is insult you, call you names, call you stupid, say, I believe this. And basically what it comes down to is, I believe this because it's what I've been taught. Well, the educational system is bullshit. It's been designed that way. It's been designed for you to think this. There are many, many, many videos, many proofs that we're not living on a ball spinning and floating through space. Well, speeding through space. Many, but many don't want to see it. I'm giving it that possibility. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I'm also not, militant in my, fuck you, of course it's flat. What are you, stupid? There's a million scientific papers about how the earth is round. I mean, come on, right? So that was a little bit of levity for the morning. I don't have time to do a really long one because I'm a little late, so I got to get going. But I'll get back here. Go to Reddit if you want to have a laugh. It's really funny because we argue about everything. I mean, we're not far away from someone going 2 and 2 is 4 and someone, telling them they're stupid for believing that. That's coming. So I don't know. We'll be back later. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe never. I don't know. I just wish people would be able to just talk to each other without resorting to names. I mean, why can't we ever have a conversation? We never can, because we are conditioned to find division. If they divide us, we're easily enslaved. There's more of us than there are of them. But they have the tools. They have the technology. You know what we have? We have this. Can't take that away from you. They can try. They can't. All right? Stay cool. Stay safe. Think positive. Do some work. Smile. Even though it's hard to see all your smiles under the mask these days. But make the best of it, man. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it.